Hello and welcome to the Feminine Millionaire Show. I'm your host, Polly Alexander. I'm a success coach, healer, creative, and future millionaire. If creating money and success in a spiritual and feminine way is your goal, this show is for you. Understand how to overcome your past, bring your soul's greatest gifts to the world, and up-level your income, impact, joy, and happiness. Join me on my journey to creating a 7-figure business and learn the business mindset, spiritual, and lifestyle changes I make along the way. Let's all rise together. Hello and welcome to today's episode. How to have more joy in your business. So appropriately enough, I am actually recording this episode at a divine golden winter sunset here in Ibiza from my home. I have incredible views of the sea and the landscape. It's one of those winter days that's crisp and clear and bright and everything feels good. And I can't think of a more joyful setting to be bringing this episode to you from. Today I'm going to talk with you about the importance of joy in your business, what you need to know about joy, and how to bring more joy into your work life, into your business. Joy is actually one of my favourite states to be in. And in my Thrive Beautifully Mastermind, we actually have a whole month of focusing on joy. What does that mean? It means that every week in our live sessions, we do energy clearing and discussions and exercises all around focusing on cultivating more joy. Not surprisingly, it's a very popular month. So what is joy? Well, to me, joy is a state of being. It's a high vibration emotion, so it vibrates at 540 hertz. And according to David Hawkins and his map of consciousness, you can Google that, it has an even higher vibration than love. To me, the state of joy is almost like love in action. It's a state of happiness, of peace, of love playing out in the state we're in. Joy is a very magnetic frequency. It's an attracting emotion. It will get you to where you want to be faster. It'll speed up your manifesting. Now, why is it important to bring more joy into your business? Well, first of all, it changes your experience of being in your business, of running it, creating it, working in it. And once you get over the initial excitement of running your business, you will find that it comes with a whole plethora of emotions, right? And if we're going to be an entrepreneur for the long term, we need to be able to cultivate these higher vibrational states in our business at will. We need to understand what we can do to create more happiness and joy and fulfillment in our business, because that will keep us engaged for the long term. It'll keep us growing and thriving and really engaged with the business. So when you have more joy in your business, it literally changes how you feel about it. It helps attract clients and business and opportunities and sales to you. And it makes the journey more enjoyable. Remember, most of business is in the journey. Most of life is in the journey. But there are brief pauses when you have a win or you complete a launch. But most of the time, it's all about the journey. So when you are regularly engaged with abundant amounts of joy in your business, when it's a state that you are in on a regular basis, it stops you getting bored, stops you getting disillusioned, or wanting to quit when you don't see results. Now, the thing you need to know about joy is it doesn't just happen. We're not schooled or brought up to believe life is joyful. In fact, I remember as a child being told to stop giggling, and the message was stop being happy, be serious, be quiet, hide your joy, be less exuberant. Our joy is squashed down and made to be wrong. Quite simply, we forget how to be joyful. When I coach women, often they've lost touch with what is actually joyful for them, especially if their time and energy has been devoted to raising a family or to a very demanding career, or when they move into a new life stage, perhaps post-divorce. And it's a process to rediscover what is joyful for them now. So if that is you, then I invite you just to open up a fresh page in your journal, metaphorically speaking, and just be open about what actually brings you joy now. Experiment, play, journal, reflect, try things out, and rediscover what is joyful for you now. Now, sometimes joy can come naturally, which is amazing, but it doesn't necessarily. So, to have a more conscious experience of joy in our business and a more consistent experience of joy, we want to be able to understand the levers to pull so that we can create and access more joy. Now, we can create more connection to joy by being more aware and also more grateful, appreciative of the things that are working, focused on the things that are working, being grateful for the clients that we do have, for the powerful words that are spoken, for the powerful results that are created, for the happy clients that are created. So how can you bring more joy into your work life? Well, sometimes it's not what you're doing that's wrong, but the way you are doing it. I'll repeat that. Sometimes it's not what you're doing in your business that's wrong, but the way you are doing it. Quite often there is a more joyful way available to accomplish the same task. So to give you an example, let's take creating these podcast episodes for you. So the old way was doing it as quickly as possible, going with the first idea I had or what I thought I should be doing or talking about, fitting it into an already packed schedule, treating it like just another thing to check off the to-do list, maybe even rushing through it. The new, more joyful way could be allowing time to reflect on different episode ideas, taking the time to feel into what feels most aligned this week, creating a generous container of time for its creation, creating a nourishing environment for the creation, like this golden sunlight at the end of the day. Sitting on a big U-shaped white sofa with deep plush cushions, a beautiful view through the windows, a delicious tea and gluten-free chocolate cupcake, and then chunking down the creation into parts and doing one at a time, being fully present with each part. So for me personally, I found experiencing more joy has to do with a few key components. So I'm going to share 9 things now that I feel we can focus on to cultivate more joy in our work. Now, maybe 1 or 2 will particularly resonate with you. Maybe some of them you're already doing. Just be open to where one of these ideas might serve you. So the first one is allowing more time for tasks. This has been the biggest game changer in terms of accessing more joy. Taking the pressure off time allows spontaneous ideas to come through. Number 2 is focusing on what you most enjoy. So that could be outsourcing the parts you don't enjoy. Or it could be changing your mindset around doing a task that you do need to do or you're not yet in a position to outsource, But by changing your mindset and how you're doing it, you can change your experience. So the third thing is giving myself permission to do things I love and that bring me joy in my business, even if they don't pay back directly. This is a beautiful journey of creation. It doesn't all have to be about making money or making sales. In fact, the more you're in your joy, the more that you will create from a truly aligned place. The fourth thing is spending money on things that bring me joy in my business. So I've been an entrepreneur for 17 years now, and in both businesses, I allowed myself to invest heavily in beautiful branding and graphic design and photography because I love them, I value them, and I also believe they are an important part of creating a powerful brand and the first impression we make on people. And so I have allowed myself to spend disproportionately on these things above perhaps what would have been required or what was adequate, because they bring me a lot of joy. I absolutely love collaborating with other creatives and bringing a creative idea to life. And so I give myself permission to spend money on things that bring me joy in my business at the expense of my sales or profit, but not necessarily at the expense, okay? But that's not my primary goal. So, for example, I love to celebrate each Money Beautifully launch. That's my flagship money program for clearing your money blocks. We've done 8 launches now, and each time I buy crystals for the team members to celebrate a successful launch. And I also like to do celebratory afternoon teas or lunches or team days out. One of my most joyful memories was in the south of France at the Grand Hotel du Cap, which has a spectacular cliff top pool overlooking the ocean. And I went with my assistant at the time, a few years back, which was Lucy. And Lucy and I were actually working in the south of France. This was before we started working. We had a day off, and I very consciously chose to treat us to a day at the pool club. Now, it was outrageously expensive. If you know the south of France, you will know the prices can be eye-watering, and so it can be a big mindset shift to really allow yourself to spend joyfully and be in joy as you spend. I forget, it was like 100 or 120 euros entrance each just to go in, and then there was lunch. And it just felt so joyful to do this, have this really special celebration. We have a picture of this somewhere. I'll have to dig that out and see if I can find it for this episode. The incredible thing was, which actually happens to me quite a lot, and I'm going on a bit of a tangent here, is that after lunch, sort of mid-afternoon, the weather changed. And I forget, I have a feeling it was very windy or it started to rain. I think it maybe even started to rain. And so we had to leave early because it was all outdoors. And they actually ended up giving me a refund for the pool club entrance, which I absolutely loved. I cannot tell you how many times this has happened since I started clearing my money blocks, that I will go and treat myself to something amazing and then I'll end up getting an upgrade or a refund or like a ton of extra value. It's truly incredible. But it always starts with me making the decision to truly allow myself to have that experience that may be outside of my comfort zone. Okay, number 5, ways to bring more joy into your business. Having great people around you that you enjoy working with. So I recommend hiring for personality first, skills second. Making time for fun in the business. So that could be outings, team days, or a weekly team meeting. And then when we're in launch, I love to send gifts to my team to know that they're appreciated and that their hard work is valued. So that could look like flowers. In the Money Beautifully 8 launch, I sent my VA on a massage one Friday. She'd been working really hard and going above and beyond. So I booked her a massage. Sometimes it looks like flowers or chocolate, but just little gestures go a long way and build the relationship with your team. And number 6 is giving yourself permission to pivot, change your mind and change direction. Sometimes the joy lies in actually going in a new direction. Sometimes the joy lies in ending a business and starting a new one. Sometimes the joy lies in a whole new idea, a whole new course, a whole new launch, a whole new product, a whole new way of doing things. And these are the kind of joy-based actions that take some time to birth. So typically you'll get the awareness and then gradually it'll form into a decision and then a plan and then into action. But really allowing yourself permission to change your mind and change direction can result in a huge uplift in joy. Okay, the next one, number 7, is taking more time off. Yes. When you harmonize your business with your life, you feel grateful for it and cherish it. Just think about the benefits your business brings you and really allow yourself to receive them. My online coaching and healing business brings me a great deal of flexibility. And today that looked like going for a walk in the forest with the palm at golden hour. The sun's setting early, it's winter here right now in Europe. And 4 p.m. is a great time to go for a walk. And so that's exactly what I did. Now, walking in nature is one of the things that brings me a lot of joy now at this stage of my life, listening to the bird song, looking at the beautiful golden light on the trees and the landscape, and being still and peaceful. So the Pom and I walked around, had a beautiful walk in the middle of the day, and then we came back, did a discovery call, and signed a new client for my private coaching, and then prepared to host Money Beautifully, the penultimate session of Money Beautifully 8, which I have loved leading. So I am grateful and joyful in my business because of the opportunities it affords me to harmonize my business with my personal life, with my joys, my pleasures, my interests, my preferences. Okay, number 8 in the ways to bring more joy into your business is to keep growing, learning, and trying new things. So joy can start to fade when we get bored, when we're not pushing ourselves, when we're not taking risks, when we're sitting in the comfort zone. And that can be a really nice place to be for a while, but then it can get kind of stale and boring, or the energy can drop. And so when you make the decision to try something new or experiment or do something in a new way, it can bring in new levels of joy. Plus, there's the joy of accomplishing something that you might have thought would be too difficult or thought that you couldn't do. There's that joy in overcoming and accomplishing and proving that you can do things. And lastly, you might even be able to guess what the last way to bring more joy into your work life is. One of my favourite things. It's to celebrate. It's to celebrate what is working. When you're an entrepreneur, there'll be some things that are working better in your business than other things. There will be some processes and systems that are flowing beautifully, and there'll be some that are a work in progress, right? So celebrate what is working. When I make a list of all the things that are working in my business, that brings me much closer to a state of joy than when I'm just reflecting on the most recent thing, or when I'm focused on what isn't working. So, I hope today's episode has reconnected you to the possibility for more joy in your business. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. Now, if you want to be the woman that consistently has joy in her business, if you want to be the woman that doubles her income so that she can be the one that makes her dreams come true, if you want to be the woman that grows gracefully and beautifully in her business and with her business, then I invite you to my live Value Packed Masterclass happening this Sunday, the 19th of December. It's called 6 Steps to Six Figures and Beyond, and it's for soul-aligned entrepreneurs ready to accelerate their success and double their income. You can find more details at training.pollyalexander.com/6 steps or the link in the show notes for this episode. Be sure to register because you will only be able to access the replay and more details if you have registered. I look forward to supporting and inspiring you. Have a beautiful and joyful week.